Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just a couple picks away from the San Francisco 49ers being on the clock at pick 43. We have the Patriots, who their pick is in right now, and we'll let you know as soon as that comes through. We have Chicago, New Orleans. Is that Chicago again? I can't see this far. Maybe Jets and then San Francisco 49ers. So let's see who it's going to be. Oh, wow. The Patriots, with the 38th overall pick, have selected Ohio State running back Trayvon Henderson. So both the Ohio State running backs go off the board early. The Browns took Quinshawn, and then a couple picks later, we have what appears to be Henderson off the board. So pretty interesting situation with how this is all playing out. Obviously, one of the big stories that isn't really related to the 49ers, but you have Shedeur Sanders sliding. With New Orleans coming up, I don't know if New Orleans will make a pick there. It sounds like most of the quarterback needy teams were in on Jackson Dart and not so much on Shedeur. So I really don't know where Shedeur is going to go at this point. It is obviously going to be one of the more discussed topics throughout the rest of this draft, but he could be in for a very long night if someone doesn't kind of extend a lifeline to bring him in. So it is going to be a fascinating one, but the San Francisco 49ers aren't that far away from being on the clock. So as we know, 49ers took last night with their 11th overall pick, Mykel Williams. It's honestly a pick that I've really warmed up to after hearing John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan talk about how they plan on using Mykel Williams. And it makes all the sense in the world because they were going to need to attack this one way or the other. They were going to need to get a defensive end that was strong in the run game, and they were also going to likely need to get a defensive end that was a strong pass rusher. They opted for what they would consider to be the best edge setter in this draft at 11. So that gives them the opportunity to not only take this young player who's only 20 years old, develop him as a pass rusher, but he's already got the baseline traits to be an immediate impact in the run game. But now they can go into the draft and draft a basically a situational pass rusher, whether at pick 43, pick 75, or 100. These are all prime spots for the San Francisco 49ers to add D-line. Honestly, if you had asked me, if it was up to me, with these next three picks, two of them will be defensive linemen. Defensive tackle, defensive end, potentially two defensive tackles. I don't care how you stack it, but I do think they need to come away with that minimum a DN and a DT. Um, or you can convince me two DTs and we can kick DN to maybe the fourth round or fifth round. But I do believe this next pick at 43 should be a defensive tackle, and there are some good names available. You let me know in the comments who you think, what position. We'll talk about who, but let me know in the comments what position you think the San Francisco 49ers should target right here at pick 43. Drop it into the chat. After you drop it into the chat, you guys already know what to do. Move that little mouse button over, smash that like button. You already know the vibes. And, we got to smash the like button for good juju, making sure we get a good pick here. So far in the chat, I see defensive tackle. I see a wide receiver. See interior defensive tackle. So it seems like everyone's kind of on board with the 49ers going DT here. There are some good players available, though. So let's dive into that a little bit. Let's take a look at who is currently on the board. There are some guys who have slid out of the first round that I don't know if we were all necessarily anticipating. So when we look at it right here, right, the one that jumps out is Will Johnson. Will Johnson was here in attendance. He fully believed that he was going to be a first round draft pick. So what I'm kind of assuming is that the medicals have potentially maybe caused him to slide, because he does seem like a very talented cornerback. So it doesn't seem like it's talent related, and he seems like a good kid. So maybe the injuries have caused a little bit of concern. And I'm just curious, if the 49ers had a high grade on Will Johnson, would they take him here at 43? I don't know. That will be an interesting one to see. But you also have guys falling like Mike Green. Obviously, he's more of a pass rush specialist, in my opinion. However, I don't know who the 49ers would like more. Would they like Mike Green, or would they like Femi Oladejo better? Not sure. I am not sure. I know for a fact they love Femi Oladejo. I mean, we talked to Femi on the channel. Um, they clearly have a great connection off the field. So it'll be interesting to see if they make that pick here, or if they try to get him at 75 potentially. But you also have Luther Burden, wide receiver, who is available at one point, was considered to be a top 15 pick. He is available right here in the second round. The Bears are on the clock. Let's see who they're going to take. Oh, what a great pick. Wow. The Chicago Bears select Missouri wide receiver Luther Burden. Wow, what a great pick. That's a great pick for the Bears. Caleb Williams, their new offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. You have Roma Dunze. Now you add Luther Burden. If I'm not mistaken, they took the tight end, right? They took Loveland, right? So now you get one of the more talented wide receivers in this class. Luther Burden is very talented. He can do a lot of different things. I dove into his tape a little bit, and you could really see that he has some special traits. And I think there was some concerns about his effort and things like that when the ball isn't in his hands. But I mean, you can't deny the talent. So he goes, wow, that's a great pick for the Chicago Bears. So a guy that we were just talking about, he falls. Now you got Donovan Azaruku, who is also available. He is a guy who had 16 and a half sacks last year. Mason Taylor, Nick Scorton, Henderson went. You got Demetrius Knight, JT, Trey Amos, Landon Jackson. My guy, Jack Bech, Revel, Dylan, Watts, Royals. I would like Azarie Thomas. Azarie Thomas to me is a good player. But there's still a lot of good talent here. So it is going to be fascinating to see who the 49ers come home with. TJ Sanders, I would really like at this pick. Jordan Birch is a very interesting. I really like Jordan Birch. He's a high trades player. I like Anthony Belton. I don't know if I would love these guys here, but I do like them. Jalen Knoll, Marcus Embo, Elijah Arroyo. So, I mean, there are a lot of good players available still on the clock. And the 49ers are inching closer. You have the New Orleans Saints on the board. I don't know if Shador goes here. I really don't. So we are going to see. Who? Oh, my goodness. The New Orleans Saints take a quarterback, but it's not the quarterback that we were just talking about. The New Orleans Saints take Tyler Shook, Louisville quarterback. Wow. Shador. Wow. Shador is having a monumental slide right now. One time considered to be a top 10 pick. Now it doesn't even look like he might go in the second round. I don't know. I don't know who's going to send out that lifeline for Shador Sanders right now. He is free falling as the New Orleans Saints take a quarterback, Tyler Shook. So this is going to be a crazy one because obviously you're going to have to see how this pans out for the New Orleans Derek Carr situation. He's dealing with the shoulder, but it does sound like the Saints are ready to move on from that situation. They had Spencer Rattler. They took Jake Haener, and now they take Tyler. That is pretty amazing. And he's sitting here in the media workroom at the NFL draft. Everyone, the pick was just announced. I don't know if you could hear it, but everyone, the the reaction was wow. So quite the surprise, I would say, especially considering many did believe that Shador was going to be a first round pick, but that does not look like it is going to be the case. So oh boy, the slide is on, baby. Get your water wings on because we're going for a slide. Sheesh. All right. So now that means we are one step closer. I can't even see who that is. That Chicago that is back on the clock? Yes, it's Chicago, New York Jets, and then the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. Oh, but we have a trade. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Bills have traded up to pick 41. We don't know what the trade compensation is yet, but the Bills were slated to pick here. Excuse me. The Bears were slated to pick here, and they have traded with the Bills. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Who are the San Francisco 49ers going to take? The Bills trade pick 56, pick 62, and 109 for the Bears' 41st pick, 72nd pick, and 240th overall. So not bad. That's not bad. It's pretty much 2 pick swaps. I mean, if you want to look at it, it's 3 pick swaps, but the biggest jump that the Bills obtain is the 240 for 109, jumping up. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so who are they going to take here? I wonder if John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan try to make any calls. Oh, I'm spoiling the picks, baby. I'm spoiling. The second we find out, I'm going to let you know. So I like TJ Sanders here, Azarie Thomas here. I mean, Mike Green is an interesting one. The fact that he's sitting here, that would be quite the interesting development. I don't know. I mean, it seems like there are definitely some concerns around potentially the off-field stuff. So I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't. I would assume they go defensive tackle here. The question becomes, do they actually look at Will Johnson here? Because, I mean, that was a pick that we talked about. Maybe the 49ers would take him at 11. And the fact that he is available is interesting. Again, speaks to potentially concerns over his injuries. Oh, no. No, the 49ers we got sniped. We got sniped. They sniped us. They sniped us. They knew. They knew. That's why they traded up. They knew. The Buffalo Bills trade up in front of the San Francisco 49ers to take TJ Sanders. Dang it. I mean, that has been one of my dream picks for at 43 this whole time for the 49ers. Like I've mocked him multiple times. He was the guy that I wanted at 43. The fact that they jumped up, oh, pain. So do they consider Darius Alexander here? I can't believe they did it. They took my guy. Sniped. Man, he would have been a phenomenal compliment to Nick Bosa and Michael Williams. The interesting thing is, do they go Darius Alexander? The only thing that I don't like about Darius Alexander is that he's 25. That's the only kind of thing that you don't love. But if you really think about it, you're drafting Darius Alexander to start day one. He is not going to be a backup. He is a guy that needs to play as a starter right now. So maybe instead of getting a guy who's a little bit younger, might need a little bit more development, you potentially go and take a Darius Alexander, and because he's played a lot of ball, and he's again. I remember going to the Senior Bowl, and it was the first day of one-on-ones, and I'm like, who's number 9 out of Toledo? I was like, holy Toledo, who's number 9? He flashed day one, and he's an interesting one because he has versatility. I see him more as an interior defensive tackle, but he can play edge. So I don't know. Will Omar Norman Lott? Oh, wow. All right. The 49ers are now officially on the clock after the New York Jets took Mason Taylor with the 42nd pick. I really like Mason Taylor. He really is a fluid athlete. Oh boy, where do the 49ers go right here? It's time. This is your last opportunity to make your predictions. Drop your prediction in the chat. Who are the San Francisco 49ers going to take? Are we going DT? Are we going O-line? Are we going to shake it up a little bit? We're going to go D end. Are we going to go cornerback? Ursary wouldn't be a bad pick. I view him as a guard, so it actually makes sense. Uh-oh. Matt Miyoko just said, Jed York suggests it's going to be a player in the trenches. That was just now. Oh, Jed York tweeted, so many choices here. Wonder what they're going to do. Hashtag trenches. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we're going with. We're going trenches, baby. We got Jetty Boy leaking. All right, so it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Trenches to the 49ers. But who? Who's it going to be? We're going O-line? We're going D-line? We're going to get that guard? Oh, my goodness. All right, the blood pressure is rising here, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Who's it going to be? It's going to be announced any second. I'm just waiting for that notification to come through. Oh boy, is it gonna be? Let's see if I can even get this post out before we pick. So it's trenches. Oh boy, these every time a notification comes through, I tense up. All right, who's it gonna be? Oh boy, who's it gonna be? Man, I love the draft. I love this anxious excitement, having no idea who it's gonna be. We got Jed York tipping. Oh my goodness. I'm just constantly updating Twitter. All right, guys. Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths. Jed York says it's trenches. Could be a couple offensive linemen available. Last time the 49ers picked in the second round was Aaron Banks when they took an offensive lineman. I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. Why am I so nervous? Why am I so nervous? Oh, my goodness. Announce the pick. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Announce the pick. Someone. Wait. The Cowboys are on the clock? Where the 49ers pick? The Cowboys are on the clock. That's what Albert Breer just said. Are they on the clock, though? Where's the pick? All right. The pick is in. It's not being tipped. All right. They're not tipping it. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Julian Peterson is announcing the pick. Oh, boy. It's not tipped. Alfred Collins. Let's go. San Francisco 49ers get a defensive tackle in the middle. All right. We are stacking it up, baby. The 49ers getting active. And they go Alfred Collins, Texas interior defensive tackle. All right. All right. Trenches, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So this is a guy that I like because he's a little twitchy. Let me get my posts out. So if you're just joining, the San Francisco 49ers have selected Texas defensive tackle. The 49ers have selected Texas DT Alfred Collins. All right, we're building. We're building in the trenches, baby. All right, let me get these posts out, and then we will talk about the impact. I know Kyle Shanahan's happy about this, taking a DT from his alma mater. All right, immediate grades, drop them in the chat. How are we feeling about this one, ladies and gentlemen? The San Francisco 49ers just got a 6'5", 320-pound defensive tackle. He's 23 and a half years old. And with his time with the Texans, he has played for 5 years. His first season was in 2020. He has 6 sacks over his career. He has 63 quarterback hurries. Dang. That's a good amount of hurries. From the interior, he's got 10 batted balls, 91 tackles, 52 of those were assisted tackles, and he has 2 forced fumbles. This is a big boy. This is a big boy, and that's exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for someone to anchor the interior of your defense. So the 49ers go all in on defensive line. This is what they needed to do. We knew this was the path forward, and we knew that they had to go this direction. And the San Francisco 49ers have selected Texas defensive tackle Alfred Collins. Hey, this is a big boy. Oh, boy. All right, how are we feeling about this one? 49ers select Texas DT Alfred Collins. There we go. All right, what's the chat saying? Chat looks like we're happy about it. Yeah. I think it's a good pick. I liked you know who I liked? I liked TJ, but TJ got sniped. We got sniped. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we're gonna get. Little live film breakdown. Let's get into it. All right, there he is. Oh, look at that. Taking on a double team. Oh, splits the double team. Oh, yeah. That was a bad play by those offensive linemen, though, not going to lie. Ooh. Watch this again. Oh, bench press, shed. Oh, we're cooking. Oh, where's he lined up right here? He's lined up inside shade of the tight end right here. Double team, bench press. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're cooking. Yeah, we're cooking. Let's go. I like this pick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go, guys. Let's go. All right. So I like it. I think the potential is huge here, and it addresses a huge need. I mean, the 49ers, any way you stack it, they just got two starters with their first two picks. Defensive end. Let's get up to speed. What else has happened? The Colts just took JT out of Ohio State. Oh, the Cowboys took Donovan Ezeruku. Ooh, that's a good pick too. Wow, that's a good pick too. All right, but no, I'm all right with this pick. I think this works. This works. You can see he could play all over the defensive line. Again, the thing that stands out to me is this guy is going to be an anchor on the interior of the defensive line. This is going to be a good one. I see the vision, 49ers. I see the vision. I see what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. We talked about it. They had to address that defensive line, and it was only going to happen through the draft. And they got a guy. They got a guy. So Alfred, I mean, he fits. He's a very similar mold of the guy that I really like, TJ Sanders. So when you just kind of switch the name value, right? They're very similar play style, anchors on the interior, and I like it. I'm down. We were just talking about it. Yeah, he's going to be 24 this year, but these guys are going to start. They need to start, and he's played 5 years in college, and I don't think that's such a bad thing anymore, because when you need a guy to play right away, it's much better when they have the experience to be able to be plug and play. So this is a guy who's large, strong, and fits a massive need. They opted for Alfred Collins over Darius Alexander. Again, it's the same TJ Sanders, Darius Alexander, and Alfred Collins. They're the same type of archetype. So it's basically, don't focus so much on the name. Like, yes, I like some other guys, but they're the same archetype. They're the same types of players. So I really do think that this is a solid pick. Like I said, it fits the need that the San Francisco 49ers are looking for. And they got to anchor. They got to anchor on the interior of that defensive line. The Rams just took a tight end. The Rams just took Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon with the 46th pick. Oh boy. All right. Hey, I'm down. I'm down with the pick. I'm down with the pick. I'm down with the process. It makes sense to me. I see the vision. So that's the thing with these draft picks, man. Do we see the vision? Does it make sense to us? Does it fill a need? Do we see the upside? All right. So now we got a little while. The 49ers will be back on the clock at pick 75. And now, so this is exactly the way it's stacking up, like I would hope. They get an edge, first round, defensive line, first round, second round, defensive line. We are on track, people. We are doing exactly what we needed to do. Yes, the names might be different than some of the other names that certain people like, but this is exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we were looking for. Edge DT. We're starting to build an anchor for this defense. And think about the guys that they just got. These two guys are stout run defenders. These guys are guys that can uh, ball out right away. And I'm liking it. And when you look at Alfred Collins' run defense grade on PFF, last year he had an 85 grade, which is really solid according to PFF. So that's where he thrives. He thrives as a run defender. And so where have the 49ers struggled? They have struggled at stopping the run. I can tell you one person who is extremely happy right now, and that is Fred Warner. Fred Warner's so happy that he just got a 6'5", 320 guy who moves like that, who can shed blocks like that, who can take on double teams, do all of those things, and now Fred can roam. He can shoot gaps. He can read and react. He doesn't worry about getting guards and tackles peeling off to him. This is one of the reasons why you go with the big-bodied defensive tackle. So this is a great pick. Great pick. Absolutely a great pick. Slight correction. Oh, it's 330. Excuse me. He's a little bit bigger than we thought. Yeah, I like this pick. Yeah, he's yeah, this pick is great. This is a great pick. I don't know how many times I need to say it. He's violent. He is active. He does not. He sheds blocks. He splits double teams. This is exactly the type of power, the type of force. Wow, Will Johnson goes to the Cardinals at pick 47. Yeah, 49ers cooked with this. Yes, sir. Justin says Aeneas Peebles at pick 75. I'm a big Aeneas Peebles guy. That's a guy who's going to be a pass rusher on the interior for sure. KB says really appreciate the effort to keep us informed on everything going on. You the go. Shout out to KB. Appreciate the $20 super chat. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate all the support from you guys. You guys are the best. Couldn't be here today without any of you guys being able to do this stream straight from the draft. Um, Again, couldn't do without you guys. Couldn't do it with a lot of people, man. And I just really appreciate everyone who's helped me get to this point. Couldn't do it alone. And I appreciate a lot of you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Silent says Williams and Collins can run the jet. Oh, I see the vision. They can. You talk about stunts. Absolutely. They can run a lot of stunts. They can run a lot of loops, all that kind of stuff, man. This is a good one. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped right now. Oh, we finally addressed our defensive line. I'm so excited. Normally 49er fans have been super weird about defensive tackles and defensive linemen, but nah, we need that. We needed that for sure. Let's go, baby. So now we got a while before the 49ers are back on the clock at pick 75. All right, but now let's do it like this. I want you guys to grade. Oh, the Raiders are trading with the Texans right here. Sorry, too much stuff going on. You should see how many screen I have. One, two, three. I have four screens in front of me right now. Grade the 49ers first, the combined picks. Now that we kind of understand the vision, now that we kind of see how the 49ers have put this together, how would you grade this? You got Michael Williams, edge setter, run defender. You get Alfred Collins, a big body, a guy who's going to be an absolute force in the run game. The 49ers just almost single-handedly fixed their run defense with these first two picks. That is where the value in this draft lies. And that's the beauty as well, is that there are going to be pass rush specialists later. If the San Francisco 49ers somehow bring me David Walker, I'm going to be through the roof. I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic. If they get me David Walker in the fourth or fifth round, I'm going to be so hyped, man. I'm going to be so unbelievably hyped. So I hope we get it. I hope we see it. If I had to grade it right now, I think with that Alfred Collins pick, I'm gonna give the Alfred Collins pick a straight up A. Um, I think that's an A pick right there. And with the Michael, I gave it a B pick initially. Since then, I bumped that grade up to an A minus because I understand the vision for the selection better. So I got to give these first two picks just a solid A. It is. It makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking, baby. 49er fans right now, I think you should be pretty pleased with the vision. Again, the process that the 49ers are executing right now is working out pretty well. But yeah, we got a dog. We got a dog. Yeah, I'm hyped. Let's go. All right. So now let's think of it like this. The San Francisco 49ers have addressed two of their biggest needs. I would actually say their top two needs: defensive tackle and defensive end. So now they have a little bit of flexibility. They could go defensive tackle again. I wouldn't be opposed to that. They could go defensive end again at 75. They could maybe step out of that, maybe look at a wide receiver. They could look at a linebacker at 75 potentially. Maybe they go offensive guard if they find someone that they really, really like. Um, but I feel a sense of relief right now with how the 49ers have went about this, because the defensive line, the holes on the defensive line, they were keeping me up at night. Um, and it just it just was nerve wracking heading into this draft. But they got some dogs. So I think the 49ers are doing a great job right now. I think this is exactly what we needed. And so, like, I see someone saying the 49ers should have went Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan was more of a pass rush specialist. So this is what the 49ers are telling us with these trends. It's really easy to see. I think it's, and I can put myself into this category a little bit. I think we get so enamored with the pass rushing and the pass rushing ability that we forget just how important it is to be a defender first and to be able to be stout. And again, I was talking about this with the pick of Michael Williams because I don't think Michael is a pass rusher first. And when I look at Alfred Collins, I don't look at him as really a pass rusher first. But you have to earn the ability to rush the passer. You have to stop the run first. And if you're not doing that, and if you're not getting into third and longs, third and mediums, you're not putting yourself in a position to be able to rush the passer. And that's what the San Francisco 49ers were failing at. They were getting gashed on the ground. And so as a result of that, what if you, it doesn't matter if you have all these phenomenal pass rushers if you can't stop the run. And so I just really think that's the focus. Like we're seeing the absolute clear trends right now that the 49ers are trying to execute. And vision. I get it. I obviously have been kind of leaning towards getting some pass rushers as well, but I see where the archetype, the type of player that they're getting guys that can dominate at the line of scrimmage, and that is the key word, dominate. They're getting guys who can control the line of scrimmage, and that's the name of the game, is it not? So the 49ers set out to do that. They've added two players who will help control the line of scrimmage. Uh-oh. McDonald's Wi-Fi's acting up. Ursery goes to the Texans. Ursery goes to the Texans. Yeah, I'm hyped. Oh, Cincinnati, they take the South Carolina linebacker Demetrius Knight. All right, I got to make a post here real quick. Yeah, boy. All right. Oh, we going Teddy now? That's what I'm saying. It's Teddy time, baby. Bring Teddy home. If the 49ers come home with Teddy Buchanan, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. There's still a couple players that the San Francisco 49ers could take. I'm gonna be ecstatic. But yeah, I like it right now. I like what we're doing. I see the vision, baby. I see it. Boy. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just thinking about all the teams that are going to really struggle running the football against us. Obviously, we're projecting out. We haven't seen them in training camp yet. Obviously, we got to see how that works out. But man, I uh I envision right now with the way that the 49ers are attacking this, that teams are going to have a hard time running against us, because you think of the rest of the defensive line. Now you have good. You're starting to see how the depth could shake out with, Kevin Givens and Evan Anderson and Jordan Elliott, and then if they can just keep adding depth, go out and get some good UDFAs. We got a trade on right now. The Broncos sent pick 51 to the Panthers. So the Panthers. Yeah, this guy's disruptive, man. Alfred Collins is a great pick. All right, let's see what the chat's talking about. Shanahan looked mad that they didn't take a wide receiver. I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see what his reaction was. I don't think Shanahan's mad. I really don't. I think that Shanahan is probably really excited. Think about it. This is a guy from Shanahan's alma mater. So Shanahan's from the University of Texas. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's mad. I think Kyle Shanahan understands they want to win football games. They got to rebuild that defensive line. So they're getting back to the formula that they had implemented when they first took over. So I'm not tripping. I'm really not. I don't think he's tripping either. Cam says linebacker Jeffrey Bossa or David uh, Benda, uh, then DT after. Oh, wow. Seattle Seahawks is having a good draft. They just took Elijah Arroyo, Miami tight end. So hey, it's a battle right now. It is a battle between these C West teams. All right, let's take a quick look at who is still available on the board right now. I don't see. Yeah, so it's going to be a while for the 49ers are back on the clock again. But as it stands right now, oh, all right, we got some movement in the draft. What just happened? We had the Panthers traded up, and they are taking Texas A&M defensive end Nick Scorton at pick 51. It's pretty solid value right there. It is. That is pretty solid value. So the draft is moving. We're kind of moving pretty quickly here. Picking up steam, baby. All right, let me get some of these posts out, man. Too much multitasking over here. All right. So with the 49ers selecting a and defensive tackle, let's kind of reset this a little bit. Let's re our thoughts. With the 75th pick, what position do you think that the San Francisco 49ers should address? Is it going to be D-line again? Do you think they should go O-line? Do you think they should maybe look at tight end if Harold Fannin Jr. is available or someone like that? Do you think they could potentially go wide receiver? Could they go cornerback? Could they go linebacker or even safety? Where do you think the 49ers should go with that 75th pick? And honestly, you're still going to have a lot of talent available at that pick. Just the way the board is falling, this is the meat of the draft right here. Again, Squirton at one point was, I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly, but he was considered to be potentially a first round draft pick. So that you're going to be able to get talented players right here in this part of the draft. So the interesting thing about this, no, the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have taken Femi Oladejo. Oh my gosh. No. Oh my God. Not my guy, the Tennessee Titans. See, this is what we talked about, man. This is what we talked about when we had him on. You know, we were talking about like maybe a pick 75, and we're like, I don't think 75 is going to do it. I don't think 75 is going to get it done. They're going to have to trade up. 43 might be a little too rich, and then they would have had to move up from 75 to get Oladejo. Brutal, my guy. All right, so there goes one draft crush right there. That was definitely a guy I loved, and I know it was a guy the 49ers loved. I know they love that guy. But again, the value just in the line. I don't know if they would have been able to get him. Um, I don't know if the value aligned with what and where they needed to take certain guys. So wait, is Mike Green still available? Mike Green's still on the board. Oh, Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone wants to mess with that. Hey, I get it. Oh, we got Matthew McConaughey tweeting about the 49ers pick. All right, all right, all right. Let's go, Matthew. He said sweats early, sweats late. So it looks like uh, Matthew McConaughey is a big fan of Alfred Collins. All right, all right, all right. Guys, I I didn't I'm not gonna front like I did a ton of work on Alfred Collins, but it really I see the vision so clearly. It's unbelievable. Like I said, he fits the archetype. He fits the archetype of the type of defensive tackle that we needed. We needed a big body. We needed a guy who could eat up space. We needed a guy who was athletic enough to be able to shed blocks, split double teams, get upfield, hold the line of scrimmage. He checks the box, man. He checks those boxes. All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Hey, I gotta shout out John Chapman. Chapman Chapman has predicted the 49ers' first two picks. He said he wanted Michael Williams. They took him. And then he said he wanted Alfred Collins. Then they took him. Shout out to Chapman, man. Shout out to John Chapman. Dude's cooking right now. He is cooking. All right, this is let me pull it up. I'll show you what Matthew McConaughey is saying about the 49ers' newest draft pick. Oh, the Buccaneers are drafting Benjamin Morrison at pick 53. That is one of the biggest steals of the draft, I think. He is good. Yep, there's detail. Detail put me on to Morrison, and he's legit. He just dealt with some injuries, but he's solid for sure. Um, he's very athletic, and he is great instincts. I love it. I don't love it, but good for him. This is what McConaughey said. He said, "Sweats early, sweats late." Dude, I'm hyped, baby. I'm hyped. Shout out the 49ers, man. I see the vision, baby. All right, so we got Green Bay Packers on the clock. San Francisco 49ers are a ways out. All right, let's reset. So we are going to be picking at 75. So we're about 20 picks away. 20 picks away, and then we're back on the clock. And now we're back to cooking. I'm really fascinated to see who the 49ers end up going with right here. Ooh, that's a good pick by the Green Bay Packers. Wow, they take offensive tackle Anthony Belton. I would have loved if the 49ers took him at 75. That would have been a great pick. That would have been a great selection. I think he was one of the best players at the Senior Bowl on the offensive line. He looked the part. He could play both sides. He could play interior. He's a big guy, 6'6", 366, moves really well. Yeah, I thought he would have been a phenomenal mid-round offensive line target where you're not overspending for him, but he's good. Like, he's really good. That was a good pick. That was a good pick by the Packers. Come on, Packers. All right. But do you think the 49ers are going O line? Let me go back to, I think I missed a lot of what you guys were saying about what position we would go because I got sideswiped by Femi Oladejo going. So let's reset after Femi got sniped by the Titans. Let's see. I see linebacker. So linebacker wise, let's take a look at who's available. Let me see. I can do a position filter, a linebacker. All right, so let's pull it up. Let's look at the available linebackers. We'll kind of run through who's on the board. Oh, wow. Oh, what a good pick. The Chargers, with the 55th pick, select Ole Miss wide receiver Trey Harris. Dang, that's a good pick. I'm a big fan of Trey Harris. I think I did mock Trey Harris to the 49ers at 55 or no, 75. But that's a great there. Linebackers that are available. These guys, Mondon, Carter, Stutzman. Oh, we got a trade. Lions have traded up. So the Chargers take Trey Harris, and now 7 behind the Chicago Bears. So Chicago, Detroit Lions have now traded up, and they're right after that, the Broncos. So we don't know what the compensation is, but the Broncos traded back. Lions are on the clock. You got Chris Paul, Kobe King, Bassa. Man, they're sleeping on my boy Teddy. Oh, they're sleeping on my boy Teddy. What do they have him as? Like a 7th round pick? 5th, 6th?
It's time to get the show started, Green Bay.
If you need a
I lived in Italy. That was when I started
They're hating.
my passion for football.
They're hating.
It was a hard football journey. Being a
They're
zero
hating on
sum
my
crew
boy.
really taught me triple.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd go linebacker at 75 based on how this particular ranking is shaking out. So let's take a look at the offensive line. What offensive linemen are available right here, potentially coming up? Let's go center. They've got, finally some respect for Jake Majors. Jake Majors has kind of low-key been disrespected this whole draft process. Jake Majors is one of my favorite guys. Willie Lampkin, Jared Wilson. Eli Cox was a guy that showed up on my radar after the senior scouting combine. Let's look at Bird. Ratledge is there. See, I could see the 49ers going right here. Marcus Embo. He didn't really wow me at the Senior Bowl, but when I got into his tape, I was like, oh, he's got some moves. Caleb Rogers could be a guy that they target. He was in on the 30 visit. My guy Jackson Slater down here. Oh, we just talked about him. Tate Ratledge goes off the board after the Bears select Ozzie Trapillo. So we have a bit of an O-line run going. So it looks like Anthony Belton's selection triggered an O-line run. So we have one of our first positional runs here in the second round. I love when position runs happen. Is a player gets selected and then teams are like, oh no, we got to get our guy. So we got an O-line run happening, which makes a lot of sense. There's not a lot of top end O-line prospects in this class, so for them to go in this spot, it does make sense. Does make sense here. So I'm more of the mindset, let the O-line come to us. Honestly, I think you just got to kind of play the board a little bit. Got to let it fall. Oh, we got Seth Rollins announcing the pick for the Chicago Bears.
know y'all mad because championship goal looks good on the blue and orange.
Let's go.
But in all seriousness, Green Bay, we are in the shadow of field. And I love wearing those fields. Because the king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated.
He talked up both Jaden and Noel. Higgins and Noel. No, no. Are you kidding me? The freaking Raiders just took my guy, Jack Bech, out of TCU. Come on, Raiders. Why does this always happen? Why do the Raiders always take a player that I like? Always, like clockwork. Like freaking clockwork. Like, leave me alone, Raiders. Leave my guys alone. Leave me alone. Oh man, that's a good one. I'm a big fan of Jack Bech. Bech. I think he's going to be really, really good. The 49ers really like Colton McKivitz, and I've been watching his trainer and McKivitz work this offseason. McKivitz looks like he's going to be in completely different shape this season than he's ever been. Like, he looks like he's going to be so ready to go. So I'm expecting Colton McKivitz to take another leap. I talk about how he took a huge leap from year 1 to year 2 as a starter. Now I think he's going to take an even bigger jump into year 3. I think Colton McKivitz is going to have a big season.
We are honored to have with us the surviving family members of the United States Army Specialists.
Shadur Sanders isn't even going to be a second rounder, it looks like. Yeah, he's not, unless someone trades up.
In an IED explosion in July 2007 at age 18. Special Scooby service was marked by numerous awards and decorations, including
Man, Shadur is free falling.
passionately cheering his own team whenever he could. We honor him and thank his family and
Dude,
the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, which offers care to those.
look at Femi, man. He's just chilling at the house. Literally looks like he's by himself. just chilling. No one around. I love Oladejo, man. Yes, sir. I'm a big fan so far. of what the 49ers are executing. This is definitely going to translate into something that is really going to help this team. All right, let's catch up to the draft. Where are we at? At 57, they took Ratledge. The Lions did. Bech went to the Raiders. Dang. They took my guy. They took my guy. How dare they? Yeah, if Mike Green isn't taken, then that means something came up. That means that there's enough. Oh wow, literally on cue. With the 59th pick, the Ravens are selecting Mike Green. Wow. Mike Green goes to the Ravens at 59. This was a guy who was slated to be a top 15 pick if he didn't have off the field concerns. Now he goes to the Ravens out of all teams at pick 59. And again, it works for the Ravens because the Ravens have such a strong foundation that they can risk, a player like this. If it weren't to work out, they have a strong enough foundation where they can move off of it. So getting him at 59, wow, what an absolute steal. What an absolute steal.
You likely had a very supportive, encouraging mom or mom figure that sacrificed to make that dream possible. Tonight, we have another dream being made. With the 58th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
Wow, what a pick. All right. That's a good fit. It's a good fit for the Ravens. They get someone who goes into a strong he goes to a strong organization. That's going to end up being a really good spot for him. So, and you know that Mike Green is going to be very motivated. So, man, crazy to see him fall that far. But he now has a home. So, we're almost to the third round. We're getting closer and closer and closer. We are almost to the third round.
DJ, you can talk about the football now, but the emotions that have to be flowing with this family as he continues to play and carry pressure with him. It's going to be some story. Even that senior ball as a family, they just up and stop on the field after about the game winning catch. It's just an unbelievable struggle. And Jack Bech is a player. Al Robinson, you know how great he was in this league. That's who he reminded me of. Just physical. Everything he does is physical. You want to press him, he's going to chuck you at the line of scrimmage.
Any interviews you had still, I think you're saying any interviews that I've done that are still on the board. Yeah, I think a good amount of them, honestly. I think Femi Oladejo was the highest pick. I think he went at like 52, I believe it was. Let me double check. I know David Walker's still available. I know Teddy Buchanan is still there. I know Esa Pole is still there. I have it on good authority that Slater's still there. Esa Pole definitely has a fan who has close ties to the San Francisco 49ers. And so I know for a fact that Chris Forrester knows who Esa Pole is. I know for a fact that Chris Forrester has a very influential person in his ear telling him to draft Esa Pole. So it doesn't mean that Esa is going to get taken, but it does mean that I can guarantee you 150 million % that Chris Forrester knows who Esa is, and there's someone in Esa's corner who has very close ties to Chris Forrester, and this person is pushing Chris Forrester to draft him. So we'll see if he does. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I really do like Esa, Nick Nash as well, Ja Joyner. But I do when I look at Esa, he reminds me of Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore with more upside. Esa only played 4 years of football, and they were all in college. He didn't play high school football, so I think if you could get like Esa in the fifth or sixth round, that would be awesome. If you could get Teddy Buchanan in the 5th round, that would be awesome. You get David Walker in the 4th round, that would be awesome. So there are definitely multiple options to go, but who can replace Greenlaw? I think a lot of people like Jeffrey Bossa for that. The Oregon linebacker. Chris Paul. A lot of people like Chris Paul out of Ole Miss. Very athletic linebacker. Oh, we got a running back. The Denver Broncos, and I think this was a trade back as well. I think that might have been the Bills trade. I can't remember. But the Broncos are taking running back R.J. Harvey with the 60th pick. There's still a lot of really good running backs in this class. I feel like there's still some guys. Let's see what the running back room looks like right now for available prospects. Let me pull up my little board here. Sampson is available. Tootin is a guy that I think the 49ers would like. Caleb Johnson, Jordan James, Scatterbo. still there. ETN, Blue, Hunter, Marks, LaQuint Allen, Damian Martinez. I was watching a rerun of, I think it was Louisville and Miami, and holy crap, this guy, Damian Martinez, is underrated. He is underrated. This is what Daniel Jeremiah said. He said, Michael Williams in the first, come back with Alfred Collins. Both of these guys are dominant run defenders. It's exactly the way we talked about these picks. The 49ers decided it is time. No more teams are going to run on them. They go and take two very dominant run defenders.
And so our motto is to never stop giving, never stop loving, and never stop growing, so that no child will go without food. My son JW and I, we have the honor and the privilege of presenting tonight's pick.
Chili said, Brad, I sent you a graphic in DMs. Show it if you want. All right, what did you send me? Man, they need to catch up. We found out it was Mike Green like 10 minutes ago.
He fell here not because of anything you see on the football field. He is talented, he is productive, he is a very gifted player. There's some off the field stuff that surfaced in Virginia.
Let's see.
Explosive edge rusher who plays with tenacity, effort, and chase. This is the first take he put on against Ohio State. His spin move, and his jump off.
So what am I looking at here? Running. Oh, I see what you're saying. So Chili made this graphic. It basically shows opponents. Let me pull it up. Wait a second. It's not letting me. Hold on. It's being difficult. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. All right, screenshot. Screenshot engaged. Let's take a look. So this shows the current opponent running backs that the 49ers are going to face. Let me get it up here. Come on. So this is, again, an emphasis of why the 49ers have also made sure that they are going to build a defensive line that is going to stop the run. So what you're seeing here is these are running back opponents for the 49ers in 2025. Jonathan Taylor averaging 102 yards per game. Bijan Robinson. You got Kyron Williams twice. Chuba Hubbard. Joe Mixon. James Conner twice. Alvin Kamara. Tony Pollard. Bucky Irving. DeAndre Swift. Tyrone Tracy. Kenneth Walker twice. Jerome Ford. And Travis Etienne. So these are the running backs that the 49ers will face next season. And again, places an emphasis on why the 49ers need to really build the trenches to be able to stop the run. And just it kind of showcases the importance especially with the upcoming season. And it also shows some of the guys that the 49ers are going to have to face. And so you can kind of take that and see how it couples with the 49ers' current strategy of building in the trenches on the defensive line, specifically run defenders. So nice work, Chili. Nice work. Gives us a little bit of a visual to look at, kind of see what the running back ranks kind of look like. All right, I see the name. I see the San Francisco 49ers. Should I reset the stream? What do you guys think? Do you think I should shut this one down and then bring it back up? Ooh, Trey Amos to the Washington Commanders. They're saying to keep cooking. Some saying reset. All right, let's do a reset. This give me a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back probably about four or five picks before they go live. That way we can hop right back on. So it's only going to be a little bit of a break, and then I'll pop back on. So like I said, I'm gonna immediately. Actually, you know what? While we're on, let me just make the live so I can give you the link. So if you guys want to continue like a chat, if you guys want to hop in and start chatting about it and keep it rolling, and then I'm only going to take like a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll keep it rolling. So let me get it up for you. We're going to do live reaction to pick to 49ers third. But y'all better come back. Everyone take a bathroom break, get some beverages, get some snacks, and then we'll be back in not too long from now. I'm going to say 8:40. All right. I'm going to send you guys the link so you have it. And like I said, you can hop in here. I'm not going to be gone that long. And then well, I'm not seeing the link. Where are you? There it is. All right, share, copy, boom. All right, here's the link. I dropped it in the chat. Like I said, you can hop in there, keep the chat rolling. And then I'm going to take like 5 or like 10 to 20-minute break. And then we'll hop in and then we'll react to the next one. So jump into the link if you want. Turn the notifications on. Smash the like button on your way out. And we'll be back in a little bit. Appreciate everyone for tapping in on this one. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.